I'm wondering, how do you go about balancing being creative versus getting the clients exactly what they need?
What I'd like to hear you talk about is how do you strategize and how do you approach technically?
I'd love to hear your perspective on what really helps.
In a number of your videos, you've shown us your homemade instruments. And I just was wondering, what was your process in creating them?
What is your favorite overall go-to plugin?
Hi there, I'm Robert Duzik and welcome to my Q&A. I decided to do this set of the videos based on the multiple questions I receive over the years on my social media. There are so many questions that come in every day, and it pretty much is hard to respond to everyone. And I really believe a lot of the questions what you submit to me, they're very valuable, and I really believe then lots of you could be benefit knowing the answers to these questions, because we all learning from each other. So this is why I come with this idea. What if I will ask you to send me your question in the form and video? So it's right. If you have any phone, you have a Google phone or iPhone, just put this up front of you, record yourself, record the question, and send me through the message and social media, and you will be featured in my video. I will play your questions next to me, I will listen, and I will answer you. And on top, everyone will be able to join after the conversation, submit their version of the answer, because you know what? We all gonna have maybe different spins in some of the topics, but I really love to hear from you. But the main thing, I wanna help you. So right off the bat, I wanna say I'm doing this and with the huge help of my friends of the Boom Library, who basically, with their generosity, I was able to save so much time because they provide me with the Boom One, and I'm very thankful for this thing. And I tell you why. Having this library changed completely my workflow and organize my time, and I have way more time than ever before. And because of that, I'm able right now to doing this Q&A question, because now I don't have to go in the field and find some location recording the sounds. I have beautiful recording raw material right up front of me, ready to use. So guys, thank you so much, and I would highly recommend you to check them. And Boom Library, the engineers, maybe one of the time, they could be the one who directly gonna answer your questions. So you never know, it should be fun, you know. I really believe you're gonna like this thing, and we are gonna enjoy and have a great time. So that was the intro, and right now let's jump to the first question, and let's see what's the question first is.
Hey Robert, it's Chad Lee Jones here. I've been thinking a lot all week about a good question, and what I'd like to hear you talk about is how do you strategize and how do you approach technically getting a consistent sound across multiple sound design elements. Like for example, in something like a heaviosity library like Oblivion or something, there's all these different sounds, but they sound like they're from the same world. When I work on tracks, when I work on sounds, often I'm just getting inspired and grabbing whatever I can to kind of like figure out how to make it sound cool. But at the end of it all the different sounds sound like they're from different places or are coming from somewhere that doesn't match. They don't match with each other. So yeah, that's something I'm really curious to hear about.
Chad, that was a really good question. So the way how I do, first of all, I'm training my ears. So I constantly trying to listen like soundtracks or like movie trailers, because you know that's the tone what I want to accomplish the sound. So of course I'm open to other genre of music I'm listening to, but my priority and anything what I'm judging is by listen, compare other soundtracks. Especially always you have to change them and stay pretty much on top of this, because these guys constantly push the envelope with the loudness, with everything. So it's always evaluate. But this is what I would do. I will start with training your ear. The moment when you're starting training your ear, when you're gonna start mixing your sound effects, whatever you have like when you record with multi-microphones position, what I recommend is really recommend for you to use, there would be great idea when you just play with the levels between them, instead playing with additional effects, adding EQ on any compression, because this is where the thing's starting getting tricky. You will be starting applying each individual EQ or compression or other effects to each individual elements from the session, and then not starting blending. Instead there, I would just try focusing and recording very well the sounds. First of all, recording on 3 or 4 microphones, so you're gonna have many varieties when it comes to the mixing. And the second and the end, when you finish mixing the levels of them, I would just stick with your favorite master bus chain processor. So there could be maybe like a little bit EQ, maybe compression, and maybe some limiter. And now we overall apply the same process to everything to the end. And it's a good idea. And the end is actually to apply the Oak plugin. I think it's called Suit 2. It's great plugin. Basically what it does, and the end just eliminate all the harshness or like the unwanted noises and trying make everything like pleasant to the ear. So remember, just stay away with applying individual effects on the elements when you're editing the sessions. Apply one master bus effects to all of them in the end, and they should give you this similar sound and tone of the sounds what you want to achieve.
Greetings, Robert. It's Harvey from Nashville. Thank you so much for taking my question. I have an industry question for you. It seems like recently in the industry there is an oversaturation of sound effects. And as a sound designer, I know that you want to get the clients exactly what they need. There's also a balance between being creative and creating sound effects that might be a little bit out of the box. So I'm wondering, how do you go about balancing being creative versus getting the clients exactly what they need? And in this kind of market, what are the things that clients are looking for versus spinning your wheels and just creating content for content's sake? Thank you so much. I hope to hear from you soon.
Hey Harvey, thank you so much. That was a cool question. And you answer yourself the question by saying think outside the box. And this is most of the time what I'm thinking. You know, you have to know one thing. When you try recording something and present new sound effects, because there's already saturation, there's tons libraries what they have, like weapons, cars, tons libraries what snow or footsteps or like forest ambiances, and this stuff is already exists and it's very well recorded. For the example, like I bring a game, Boom Library. The guys do like outstanding quality of the sounds. So this stuff is already exists, and most important thing, most of the editors who's going to ask you for sounds, they already probably have access to either Boom One or other the library or some other vendors, you know. So you have to really find the different perspective of recording the sounds. Like one approach, what I do, I'm thinking about my sounds as a photographer, as my lens. When I just basically focus my microphone and directly on one source on the sound, and I'm trying making the sound bigger, put in your face, and just get the wow factor. Because, you know, like thinking about recording sounds what already exist and just copy them and think I'm gonna do better than this, you getting chance, you know, to get placement or sell this library, it's very slim, you know, it will be hard. You really have to come, like how you say, think outside the box, come with sounds collection of the library when people are gonna say like, what was that? Or just like, what was that? Then you're gonna grab people attention, and that's a big chance they're gonna come back to you and they're gonna use it. They're maybe not gonna use this specific project, but they will remember, say, hey, this guy did something like that was different, it's standing out, and I'm gonna call him, or I'm gonna use his stuff, I'm gonna buy his library. This is exactly what's happened to me, you know, like I come with something strange, like for the example, like I play my music for the trailers or other thing, and I don't know the notes. I'm using 3 fingers, and you know, like I remember when I have a chance helping with Lorne Valve, and I told him, I said, Lorne, like, I don't know how to play keyboards, you know what I mean? I play sometimes 3 notes and the chords are 1. He remember, he told me, it's like, that's plenty already. So it's very important, you know, how you're gonna record the sounds and just what you can do with the sound. So Try to do something very unique, something what's going to standing out, and don't be afraid to come with something strange, something different, something what not exist in anything. And that could be your key to success, to showing something new. And just, of course, remember, it's got to have the cinematic tone and all the other elements what these guys require. But how you just say, and you ask, just think outside the box. And that could be the key to your success and many others.
Hi everyone, my name is Diana and I'm a music composer, sound editor and designer and foley recordist working in the film industry based in Vienna. Robert, my question is, what steps do you consider essential for building a successful sound design career within the film industry? And I'd love to hear your perspective on what really helps professionals to stand out in the industry and what really helps to succeed in our field.
Thank you, Diana. That was question what a lot of people actually ask me on social media. It basically getting to the point like how I gonna become sound designer and be successful, get the jobs, and the business and working. So first of all, it's only one way get into business, and business basically work by recommendations. The best way, you have to be recommended by somebody. And how to get recommended? You have to showing yourself, introduce yourself to others, what you are capable to do, what you do. And you never know who will see your video, who will hear your work. And you never know. People might gonna see this thing and recommend you to others. This is exactly what's happened to me. Like, guys, it's like nobody give me anything for free. I start posting my videos, and I did my first video. I call how I do what I do, and I just want to share my knowledge with you and show you my process. And eventually, this thing turned right now to be for me full-time job because of your interest and people recommendations. People see my video and they recommend me to other people. They recommend me to so many other brands with I collaborate, and they recommend me to a lot of composers when I have a chance right now working or a lot of projects. So the success is right now, the key to the success is pretty much you have to constantly be on the social media and keep showing people constantly new stuff what you're doing. Don't think like you do like one score or something or you work with somebody and at the end of the world and every door is going to be open for you. No, it's not working this way. You constantly have to remind people who you are, constantly showing you, constantly progressing, showing new work, new idea, thinking outside the box. That's the key, and your originality. Like Diana, I already see your videos online and you are very talented and you have amazing jobs and you're creating unique music and everything is great. And that's the key, you just have to find somebody who's gonna looking for this very specific niche, because the moment you're gonna start copy somebody, you're gonna sound just like anyone else and you will be probably ending just producing production music. And I don't think so. This is what you want to do. You want to be composer, you want to be successful, you want people to recognize you as a Diana. So be original, that's the key. Like I see you using your recorder when you're recording your sounds, you incorporating your sounds and your music, and at this moment you're doing everything right. To be honest with you, yes, you do everything right from what I see in your videos, and your time will come. It's take me a little time to get where I am, but it will happen, just continue doing what you're doing, and please keep sharing your content, and people are gonna see that there's function under every file, email, post, whatever we do, it's called share. People sharing your stuff, making comments, and how they say that it's customer for every product, whatever we put in the market. You will gonna get like probably big break sooner than you're thinking. So I will strongly advise you, just keep going, keep thinking outside the box what you think. And most important thing, remember to adding your original sound design elements with your recording, because this is what's gonna differentiate you from so many others who will be just rely just in the sample libraries. So hope that was able to help you.
Hi, Robert. I'm Ben. Been a fan of your content for a long time. And I just have a quick little question. In a number of your videos, you've shown us your homemade instruments. And I just was wondering, what was your process in creating them? And what would you say to someone who's also interested in creating instruments, but is just kind of starting out? Thank you.
The process of the creation instrument, it's starting with the question, what if? And right away comes the answer, why not? So if I come with the idea, I want to combine like bass guitar with the drum. Why not? This is how I'm going to create my perfect bass drum. Or use like some instruments making like a flute from PVC pipe, or pick up like some kind of metal rules attached to the wood box and try and play some rhythmic stuff. The ideas come from anywhere, you know what I mean? And if you have a good idea, you should execute this thing. And I see your videos online. You're a creative guy and you're doing some instruments too. So just keep doing and never think what you do, it's strange or like nobody like it, nobody gonna do. If I were holding thinking like that in my mind, I will be probably never build any of the instruments, whatever I do. I will probably never do the crazy sound designs, what I'm doing, because I will be just always thinking in the back of my head, oh, no, nobody's gonna like it, no, it's strange, it's weird, no. So I would strongly recommend you, whatever come to your mind, ask you questions like what if, and just answer yourself right there, why not? Just do it, you know what I mean? And if it's something strange, trust me, there's a lot of my strange sounds, what I record, weird sounds, come using trash can or like some other things what I find in the junk. Find placements and a lot of big movies or movie trailers or video games. So you have the same chance, you know what I mean? So just keep recording and just make sure you're gonna record this stuff very well, and it's gonna have this cinematic tone, you know. So you gotta add your magic sauce on top and make them sound nice. But this is how I approach, you know what I mean? What if and why not?
Hey, Robert. Okay, sort of two questions for you. First one is, what is your favorite distortion plugin? And two, what is your favorite overall go-to plugin for sound design and manipulation?
There's a lot of distortions, and I have to say to you, like, I'm not a big fan overall of using distortion, first of all, because for me, adding distortion, I distort my sounds, and basically distortion's taking whatever the away punch from my sound. So I'm very careful. But however, there's one distortion what I like to use, and if I use it, and this one I use actually a quiet time for a lot of different aspects, and it's Izotope Trash. From the original Trash distortion what I released like years ago, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, I become a big fan. I just feel very comfortable. And now with the Trash 2, I'm able to get so deep in the distortion, then I'm able to manipulate this distortion in the way like I was never able to do before. So that will be my only distortion what I'm using. And when you hear like my sounds of track, and if you ever hear distortion, it's probably Trash. And I tell you what, because you want to try, and with the help of my friends of Native Instruments, I want you to have Trash too. So I will send you directly, thanks to my friends at Izotope, I will send you your personal license, and you can download and you can experiment with the Trash too. But I really believe you're really gonna enjoy this plugin. So that will be the one. My second thing, my overall favorite plugin sound design, there's no plugin, it's Cubase. Everything what I do, it's Cubase, seriously, like guys. I use sometimes plugins, but most of the time it could be like a filter, but most of my sound designs come between mixing levels, gains between levels, and especially the new Cubase 14 have the new amazing, incredible, like reinvented gain control of the levels. So this is what I do. And there's another my favorite tool, Play-Doh, when I'm stretching the samples. And so that would be my favorite thing, you know, like seriously. That will be Cubase 14 what I'm using most. And I like to incorporate them after to an Native Instruments contact. I really like, place them in the samples and modify them on the fly and play with these filters. Well, actually, I have my like custom sound design Kontakt pool instrument just for me when I'm playing. So a lot of stuff is either Cubase or Kontakt. So hope they will be answer your questions. Okay, so that was part 1 of my Q&A. Hope you like it. Hope you learned something today. And hope hearing from you, and you will be able to submit your questions, and I'll be more than happy play on my video and give my best answer. Remember, like, they could be me, they could be someone maybe from some software developer or some famous composer or sound designer or engineer, somebody who will be maybe know better than I do. I will try to do my best to answer them, but sometimes I'm gonna have to reach to my friends, and you never know who is gonna do the cameos in the video. So guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.